After watching streamers such as Gunner Maniac and his speedruns, United Gamer with his Nuzlockes, randomizers, and wicked sweet skins, and Madrybread with his Pokemon challenges. Yes, it's Madrybread. I've said it wrong many times myself. Sorry, dude. I thought I would start my own Pokemon journey. I decided to start with Generation 1, Pokemon Blue, and beating it the way the game was designed to be beaten. No crazy randomizer and no hard challenges yet. I picked this one because it's the version I grew up on when I was like 7, and I remember a few superstitions from them, such as the longer you wait on the main screen to push start, the harder the game would be. Obviously crazy and impossible. My brothers and I also believed that if you held the A button when throwing a Pokeball, you had a better chance at catching the Pokemon. Again, physically impossible. But whatever luck I believed would help me, right? So my name is going to be Ace, as per the channel, and my rival is Jack. I never was creative with nicknames or appropriate rival names for that matter, but the more challenges I do, I feel like the more creative these are going to become. I start my journey with getting Squirtle. The only real weakness to Dragon in this generation is Ice, so this was the perfect endgame move. The first Pokemon I capture on my journey is Nidoran Male outside of Viridian City. Nothing against Nidoran Female, I just ran into this one first. I tried the first rival fight, but my Pokemon are underleveled to defeat the high-level Pidgey. Not even my Squirtle at level 8 can get past them, so I'll catch some more and level up and try again. I head north and catch Pidgey for a Pokemon to satisfy Fly until I catch one of the rare birds. I take this moment to turn off Battle Style to pick up the pace some. Madrybread discussed how this saves a ton of time. Yes, I use Fast Forward in this round too, but Gen 1 pace is unbelievably slow. I head north into Viridian Forest to grind against Metapod and Kakunas, but I run into a Pikachu and catch him to use along the way. I grind through Viridian Forest and head to take on Brock. For some reason I didn't go back and challenge a rival. I don't know why. Brock goes incredibly smooth. With Squirtle being level 11 and knowing Bubble, it's 4 times super effective against both Geodude and Rock Gyarados. See what I did there? I struggled with the trainers between Mount Moon and Purity City, just as I remember from my childhood. Having to face one trainer, maybe 2, and then going back and healing. After getting to Mount Moon, I run into a level 10 Geodude and catch him to add to the team. My team is incredibly vulnerable to grass types, with Pidgey not knowing any flying moves yet, but I don't have to worry about that for a little bit. In Mount Moon, I take the Dome Fossil. Madrybread always takes the Helix Fossil and tells you in every stream which fossil he takes. So, call it a relief to finally see the Dome Fossil being taken by the hero and not the super nerd. I get to Celadon City, and I think I'm a little underleveled, especially Pikachu, to take on Misty. So I take out our trainers and head north to face the rival. I didn't want to switch Pidgey out, so I Sand Attack once, then get taken out. Pikachu comes out, I hit him with a Thunder Shock while he hits us back. I go for Thunder Wave while he hits hard with Quick Attack. I go for one more Thunder Shock, only to be taken out by Gust. This is not good. Nidoran comes out for Pidgeotto to be fully paralyzed trying to use Quick Attack, and we take it out. Next comes out Abra, and because he can't fight back, it's an easy defeat. Rattata comes out, missing his first Hyper Fang. We hit with Horn Attack, he hits hard with another Hyper Fang while we leave him with a Sliver. He hits us with the Quick Attack, and we take him out. Had he used another Hyper Fang, he easily could have taken out Nidoran. Last is Bulbasaur, and here's the trouble. Both of my remaining full health Pokemon have a weakness to grass, so I stick with Nidoran. We hit hard with Horn Attack while he hits us with Leech Seed. Again we hit with Horn Attack, and he tries to seed us. Again. We Horn Attack again, and he finishes us with Vine Whip. He's pretty low health, so here's to hoping someone can hold out. We send out Squirtle, he tackles us, and we tackle back. He then uses Leech Seed, and we take him out with another tackle. We were lucky he used Poor Attacks, because that easily could have been a loss. After the battle, both Nidoran Male and Squirtle evolve. Of all my Pokemon adventures, this is the first time that I have had 2 evolve after the same battle. Kind of a weird thing to notice, but I thought it was kind of cool. I then head north to catch an Abra, and run into the strangest 256 glitch. He breaks free from a Pokeball, and then teleport fails. Of all the crazy glitches, this one made me laugh. I mean, how do you fail to teleport from battle? A little while later, we actually catch our Abra, our 6th member of the team. I will run with these 6 for a long time. Running these games in the past, I learned that keeping the team for longer usually gives you an advantage. None of these guys can learn Cut though, so I'll have to switch them out in some portions of the game. Also, I should note how I keep my Pokemon organized. The lowest level and health is at the top, and I only switch them usually every 2 levels. Otherwise, you're in the menu just way too much. Sometimes I don't have them organized correctly, but usually because I wasn't paying attention to level and only saw health, or vice versa. Anyways, back to the adventure. I teach Abra Mega Punch and Thunder Wave, then head north to finish off those trainers, and along the way, Pidgey evolves into Pidgeotto. I head back to take on Misty, and now I feel Pikachu is more capable. We hit Staryu with 2 Thunder Shocks, while Staryu hits us with Water Gun and then uses an X-Defend. Our 3rd Thunder Shock takes it out. Starmie comes out and uses an X-Defend while we paralyze it. We hit once with Thunder Shock, and then Starmie hits 1 Bubble Beam, taking out Pikachu. I send out Nidorino to grind at it with Horn Attack. Starmie crits with Water Gun, and the following Bubble Beam takes us out. We switch for Abra, but he can't do any damage, so I immediately switch for War Turtle. I want to lower his defense since he used an X-Defend, so I grind out 6 Tail Whips while he struggles to damage us. We hit a Tackle. He is fully paralyzed, which gives us the opportunity to take it out on our last tackle. After the battle, Abra evolves into Cadabra and learns Confusion. Having a Psychic-type move in Gen 1 is crucial, and we got this one pretty early without a terrible amount of grinding. Afterwards, I beat the Rocket north of the gym and teach Dig to Geodude. I grind through every trainer fight on the way to Vermilion and on the SSN. We were underleveled for the last portion, so I want to be closer to where we should be for this portion of the game. The rival fight on the SSN goes much better this time around. A crit from Thunder Shock on Pidgeot takes him incredibly low, and the second one takes him out. He did do over half our health of damage though. Raticate comes out, so we send out Geodude. Dig in Generation 1 does as much damage as Earthquake, so one shot takes out Raticate. Next is Cadabra, so we switch to Pidgeotto. Quick Attack takes him to half health, and he hits hard with Confusion. Another Quick Attack leaves him with a Sliver when he hits another Confusion, leaving us at 10 health. The next Quick Attack takes him out. Last is Ivysaur, and we have Cadabra to counter him now. 2 Quick Confusions take him out, no problem. After the battle, I evolved Nidorino into Nidoking, giving me a second Ground-type Pokemon for the upcoming gym battle. The Electric Gym combo was absolutely brutal to me. It took me over 10 in-game minutes to find the correct second switch. I sped it up to 10 times just so you could see how brutal this was for me. No wonder so many speedruns die right here in this gym. Finally, I picked the correct garbage for the second switch, and we move on to Surge. We leave Cadabra to start and quickly 2-shot Voltorb with Confusion. Next is Pikachu, and we switch for Geodude. 1 Dig takes him out. Raichu is the same. He raises his speed, then while we're underground he tried to hit with Thunderbolt. We hit 1 Dig and win the badge. I head east, battle every trainer along the path and every trainer in the cave. Along the way, Geodude evolves into Graveler. I get into Lavender Town with no real issues and decide to try the rival fight first. Nidoking is out first against Pidgeotto. We go back and forth with Poison Stings and Horn Attacks while he hits with Quick Attacks. We are left with 3 health and take him out. Next is Water Onix, so we send out Pikachu and destroy him in 1 Thunderbolt. Next is Growlith. We hit him hard with Thunderbolt while he tries to roar us away. We take him out with a second Thunderbolt. Waste of a Pokemon there, Jack. Oh, maybe his nickname will work out. Cadabra is next. We hit him with Thunderbolt and do less than half health, and then he tries to teleport away. Again, poor choice, Jack. I switch for Quick Attack and score a lucky crit to take him out. Last is Ivysaur, so we switch for Cadabra and nearly take him out with 1 Psybeam. He tries to growl and return and misses, so I finish him with Confusion. An extremely easy battle, but thanks to poor move choices from Jack on that one. Since I can't go into the Pokemon Tower yet, I go west to battle every trainer along the way to get to Celadon City. The first thing I do there is get the HM for Fly, so we have a better advantage in the Grass Gym. I stop at the Celadon store to grab a Thunderstone to evolve Pikachu into Raichu. I also grab enough drinks to get all of the TMs from the little girl on the top floor, and then 1 for all of the guards. Erica goes as well as you'd expect. We 2-shot every single one of her Pokemon with Fly, while she either does very little damage or then, for some reason, I decided to go to the fighting gym next. I don't know why I skipped the Celadon game corner and went to the fighting gym, but I did. I went with Cadabra bowling over both Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan, and we took Hitmonchan as our prize. Now we backtrack to the Celadon game corner and take out every trainer and pick up every item. I forget that Generation 1 and the bag system is dreadful, so I keep using items or tossing out ones that you use in battle since I can't use them anyway. The first Giovanni fight went easy. Rock Gyarados goes down in 1 Dig. Rhyhorn goes down in 1 Bubble Beam from War Turtle, and thanks to a crit from Bubble Beam, Kangaskhan goes down in 2 hits. After that, we run back to Pokemon Tower, release Marowak Soul, and get the Pokeflute. I go to take Bicycle Road, only to remember that I forgot to pick up the bike in the first place. Wow, I'm really rusty at this. So I trek back, get the bike, and... oh yeah, I skipped Silphico. So I head back there, clear a heavy dose of trainers, and take out our rival. Pidgeot is out first, and we have Pidgeotto. I don't switch out and let Pidgeotto build up 5 sane attacks. Neither of us can really hit each other for a while because both of our accuracies were really lowered. Really a sad fight. We eventually hit a few wing attacks before he takes us out. Next we send out Nidoking, who now knows Rock Slide, and take it out in 2 hits. Next is Water Onix, and we take it out in 1 Thunderbolt from Raichu. Growlith brings Nidoking back out and we eliminate him in one Earthquake. Alakazam is next, so we go for Graveler, and he takes us out in one critical confusion. Well, shit. I go for Cadabra next and hit a few Psychics, lowering its special once. It keeps using Recover though, so we can't do enough damage to take him out. He also confuses us, making us damage ourselves. We go out without much of a fight. I send Raichu back out to paralyze him and go for Thunderbolt for damage. I get a lucky critical to do a ton of damage. He hits us with Confusion, but not hard. We finish him on the next attack with Thunderbolt. Venusaur is last, and luckily in this generation he still has a weakness to ground. Venusaur gets a lucky critical on Razor Leaf, still taking us out. I switch back out to Raichu for Paralysis. We hit one Swift, and another critical on Razor Leaf takes us out, leaving only War Turtle. We hit hard with Ice Beam, and luckily he ends up fully paralyzed, so we take it out on the next Ice Beam. That was a lucky victory. Giovanni's team is a one-shot with Cadaver and War Turtle all the way until Nidoqueen. I kept out War Turtle and finished him with Bubble Beams. Giovanni isn't even a challenge because my team has a huge type advantage against his team. Next is Sabrina. She starts with Cadabra and we go with Pidgeot. We hit hard with Quick Attack before getting taken out with a critical hit. We go for War Turtle next, but Cadabra hits us with Side Beam, confusing us. We do hit our Bite, but then Psychic takes us out. Raichu is next. We hit with Swift after he recovers. He hits hard with Psychic, then we take him out with another Swift. Mr. Mime is next, so we go for Paralysis. He hits with Double Slap. I go for Thunderbolt and shockingly do half his health. See what I did there? He ends up fully paralyzed and we take him out in the next Thunderbolt. Next is Venomoth. We hit with Thunderbolt and end up paralyzing him. He misses Poison Powder. We leave him with a sliver of health while he uses Leech Life and finally take him out. After a rough start, we really recovered good here. Alakazam is last, so I go for Cadabra. Literally every time I hit him, he's using Recover. Nothing else. This is just sad. Finally, I hit with Side Beam and cause confusion. He hurts himself twice, but again, for some reason, I kept using Side Beam instead of going for Psychic. He loses Confusion and recovers the entire wave of damage we just did. Well, here we go again. The first Psychic does lower his special though, which is great. Then the next Side Beam confuses him. He hurts himself in his confusion as I switch for Psychic and lower his special again. He heals, we hit with Psychic, he hurts himself in his confusion, and we finally take him out and earn the victory. We start with Koga over going to the Safari Zone. Coughing is first. He lowers our accuracy, we hit with Bubble Beam. We miss a few more while he uses X attacks. We take him out with him only doing some damage. I switch to Nidoking for Muck. Earthquake doesn't take him out, but Muck only uses the next attack, so our next move takes him out. We switch back out for War Turtle so we can earn the experience. The coughing goes exactly the same as the first one. Bubble Beam, Smoke Screen makes its miss, Bubble Beam, X attack, Bubble Beam hits, Tackle, and a final Bubble Beam takes him out. We switch for Cadabra against Weezing, hit him hard with a Psychic, leaving him with just a sliver. He uses Toxic to badly poison us, and our next attack wins us the badge. Thank goodness. I hate leaving experience points unused because a Pokemon uses Self-Destruct or Explosion. I head to the Safari Zone, grab every item on the way, including the Gold Teeth and the HM for Surf. I take the Golden Teeth to the Warden, get Strength for our efforts, grab the rare candy in the room, and head south to Cinnabar Island. I quickly clear the burnt building to get the key card and head into the gym. Instead of answering the questions and avoiding the trainers, I battle everyone to gain the extra experience. Blaine's battle was unbelievably easy. We take out Growlith with one hit from Earthquake on a crit. Ponyta went down in one hit too. Rapidash was faster and hit us with Growl, so Earthquake's power was weakened. Our second turn we hit him for Surf and take him out. Arcanine hits hard with Takedown when we get a crit on Surf, taking out over 2/3 of his health. Arcanine uses his last turn to try to Roar, which doesn't work like that in Generation 1, and we take him out with Surf for our 7th badge. I immediately go to the Viridian Gym and take down each trainer before going after Giovanni. We are quickly becoming underleveled, and I'm worried I will have to spend the end part of the game grinding a whole bunch. Rhyhorn is out first, and we take him out with one Surf. Dugtrio is faster than Blastoise and digs underground, making us miss. He hits hard due to a critical, but he is still one-shot. Nidoqueen comes out, we hit with Side Beam for over half of its health. Giovanni uses a Guard Spec for his turn, and we end Nidoqueen on our next turn. Nidoking is out next, we try Psychic, and it takes him out in one hit. That was a pleasant surprise. Rhydon is last, and we one-shot him with Surf for the 8th and final gym badge. Immediately after, we have our final rival fight before the Elite Four. First up is a Pidgeot face-off. He hits us hard with Quick Attack and Wing Attack as we start building up Sand Attacks. We hit our 3rd Sand Attack, and then he hits another Wing Attack, taking us out. Raichu is next. He misses Quick Attack while we hit hard with Thunderbolt. Another Thunderbolt takes out Pidgeot. Rhyhorn is next. We send out Blastoise, one-shot with Surf. Next is Water Onix, and we switch for Raichu to take him out in one Thunderbolt. Growlithe is next, and one quick Surf from Blastoise takes him out. Alakazam is next. I switch to Graveler first to try and hit him with Dig, but he's much faster and takes us out in one Psychic. I go for Raichu next for paralysis as he uses Reflect. I hit with Thunderbolt next, and it doesn't do much damage as he crits with Psybeam and confuses us. I switch to Swift, don't hit myself, and get a lucky critical. Alakazam with hits with Psychic though, taking out Raichu. I make a risky move and go for Nidoking, knowing he's faster due to paralysis, and take him down to one Earthquake. Venusaur's last, we send out Cadabra. Psychic hits a crit right away and leaves him with just a sliver of health. Venusaur counters with Vine Whip, doing very little damage, and the next Psychic takes him out, beating our rival. After that victory, I truly feel like I need to be at least level 45 in order to beat the Elite Four, and maybe even higher to handle my rival, especially Alakazam. I work my way through Victory Road, again battling every trainer to get the extra experience. Now here's where I reach one of the hidden things from Generation 1. I recorded it just to show how crazy the sequence ended up being. I run into Moltres, get him weak, and then throw an Ultra Ball, and I knew it would miss. I remember that you needed to have him paralyzed or asleep in order to even hit it with an Ultra Ball in Generation 1. So we let Graveler faint on purpose, we send out Raichu and paralyze it, only to discover that still doesn't work. I remember perfectly that paralysis worked in the first generation, and I'm wondering if this is just a ROM glitch or if my memory is actually betraying me. Anyway, I reset because I want the opportunity to catch each legendary fairly. I grind my way through Victory Road, heal up, and then jump back in and grind everyone until level 42. I decide my next best course of action to catch one of the rare birds is to train up a Ghastly to level 27 to learn Hypnosis and evolve him in a Haunter. I know that Graveler can only do so much damage, so I leave him weak before the start of the battle. Moltres only knows Peck and Fire Spin, so I may need to reset a few times just to ensure that he hits with Peck and we can hit with a Rock Throw, ensuring that he is super weak. But we can't waste all of our Ultra Balls missing on purpose. We also need him to Peck on Haunter, so I have one chance to put him to sleep without fainting. I could grind Haunter a few more levels, but I wanted to give this a fair effort before relying to grinding up Haunter. I fail a few times and finally get this run. Moltres hits Graveler with Peck. We hit with Rock Throw. I throw one Ultra Ball to waste it and ensure it doesn't accidentally hit or faint Moltres. The Ultra Ball hits and I catch him. I'm shocked, stunned, and elated. I don't remember that either. I didn't think you could hit them unless they had been put to sleep. So with Moltres on our team, that is one legendary down and 3 to go. This also makes Moltres our 6th team member for the Elite Four, taking over for Pidgeot. With our team at level 42, except for the new bird, I figured I would give the Elite Four an honest effort. I bought a ton of revives, full restores, and hyper potions beforehand, so if I have to train up in the Elite Four, I'm more okay with losing half of my money. This is our team. Do you think we can beat the Elite Four at this level with this team? Make your predictions and let's see what type of craziness ensues. First up is Lorelei. She starts with Dugong and we go with Cadabra. I start with Reflect to help with any physical attacks anyone wants to try. Dugong growls and we hit with a critical Psychic, only taking out half of his health. Dugong misses Growl and we hit with another Psychic, leaving it with low health while lowering its special. Lorelei uses her turn for a Super Potion, so our next Psychic takes out Dugong. Cloister is next, so we switch for Raichu. We hit hard with Thunderbolt and his Spike Cannon only hits twice. Our next Thunderbolt takes him out. Slowbro is next, we use Thunderbolt taking him well under half. He uses Amnesia, so our next Thunderbolt just barely is able to take him out. Next is Jinx, so we switch for Moltres. I don't want to try to use him too much, but he is our best option against a nasty Jinx. I go for Fire Blast, hit Jinx and take it out in one hit. Lastly is Lapras, I switch for Raichu. We paralyze it first as it hits Confuse Ray. Luckily Raichu breaks through the confusion and hits Thunderbolt, only to be hit by Hydro Pump and taken out. Next we send out Cadabra. We hit 2 Psychics, he's fully paralyzed both turns, and our 3rd Psychic takes him out. Lorelei is down and I'm feeling a little more confident after taking her out in one attempt. Heal everyone up and head on to Bruno. He starts with Rock Gyarados as we have Graveler. He hits us with Slam, we hit Earthquake. A second Slam from Rock Gyarados and the next Earthquake takes him out. Hitmonchan is next, so we switch for Cadabra. I take the first turn to use Reflect as he uses Counter. I hit with Psychic and take him out. Hitmonlee is next, and to try and save on power points, I try for Psybeam, and we get a critical and take him out. This battle's going great! Rock Gyarados is next, I send out Nidoking to hit with Earthquake. Bruno uses an X defense, so the next turn we use Surf to take him out. Last is Machamp, so we switch back for Cadabra. Psychic hits hard, almost taking him out and lowering his special. Machamp only uses Leer though, and we take him out with Psybeam. A perfect battle has me optimistic that we can actually win. I don't have to heal much before Agatha. And first is Gengar and he puts us to sleep with Hypnosis. His second turn he uses Nightshade and we wake up. We go for Dig but he switches to Golbat, so we miss Dig as he goes first and misses Supersonic. Next turn, Golbat uses Haze as we hit Rock Throw. He goes for Haze again, we miss our second Rock Throw. Golbat confuses us, we fight through and miss again. He hits Wing Attack as we fight through confusion and actually hit a Rock Throw. Agatha uses a super potion as we fight through confusion again, and miss again. Graveler hurts himself in his confusion, while Supersonic can't confuse us a second time. One more attempt to confuse an already confused Graveler, and we are confused no more. Rock Throw hits this turn. We go for Rock Throw again as Agatha switches back to Gengar, and we score a critical. Gengar confuses us, we fight through and hit a critical Earthquake, taking him out. We stick with Graveler against Golbat. He tries to confuse us, an already confused Graveler, again, and we miss again. Next turn, Golbat uses Haze, eliminating our confusion, and we miss Rock Throw again! Next turn, I go for Strength. Golbat hits a weak wing attack, so we take it out. Haunter is next, so we send out Cadabra. I hit him with Psybeam as he tries Dream Eater while we're awake. Thank you, I needed a poor decision that turn. Our next Psybeam takes him out. Arbok is next, so we switch for Nidoking. We hit hard with Earthquake while Agatha uses a Super Potion. Our next Earthquake takes it out. Gengar is out last, so we switch for Raichu to Paralyze. Gengar starts with Dream Eater. Again, I don't understand the CPU sometimes. We hit Thunder Wave and gain the advantage. Thunderbolt doesn't do much damage as Gengar misses Toxic. Our second Thunderbolt scores a critical though, and Gengar ends up fully paralyzed. A third Thunderbolt leaves him really low as he hits Toxic. I definitely didn't think I could get to Lance in one attempt, but we did. So I heal everyone up completely as I head on to face him. Water Onix is first, and one Thunderbolt takes him out. Dragonair's next, we switch for Blastoise. Hit him for over half his health in Ice Beam, and he hits Hyper Beam. A second Ice Beam takes him out, regardless of the critical hit. Another Dragonair's next, we crit with an Ice Beam as Lance uses a Hyper Potion. We get our 1 in 256 glitch on Ice Beam as Dragonair uses Agility. Dragonair misses Slam as we hit hard with Ice Beam. Next Slam hits as we take it out with Ice Beam. He hits hard with Takedown as we hit hard with Rock Slide. He hits Hyper Beam, taking us out. If Hyper Beam takes us out, he doesn't have to recharge the next turn for this generation. We go for Graveler as he hits Supersonic, causing us to hurt ourselves in our confusion. Aerodactyl misses Takedown, we miss our ensuing Rock Throw. Big shocker there. He hits Weak with Bite, and we actually hit Rock Throw for a change. Lance uses a Hyper Potion as we break confusion and hit with Rock Throw. We get confused again and hurt ourselves. Next turn, a critical Hyper Beam takes us out. I send out Cadabra in hopes to get Reflect off. He only uses Bite, so we actually get it off. Aerodactyl crits with Bite, eliminating Cadabra. Raichu is next, and one Hyper Beam takes us out. Our weak Blastoise gets taken out in one takedown. Moltres hits with Fire Blast, burning Aerodactyl, so we lock him into a Fire Spin to take him out. Last is Dragonite. We hit with Fire Blast as it uses Agility. Dragonite misses Hyper Beam as we hit another Fire Blast. He misses a Slam, and Fire Blast hits one more time. We use a few Fire Spins as he builds barriers and agilities. He's healed with a Hyper Potion and takes us out in one Hyper Beam. Well, couldn't be perfect, could it? Our second attempt at Lance goes much better. Raichu takes out Water Onix in one hit. We hit Dragonair twice with Ice Beam as it builds up agilities, taking it out. The next Dragonair hits once with Hyper Beam, and 2 Ice Beams takes him out. Aerodactyl is next, and we go for Paralysis with Raichu. He confuses us, we hurt ourselves, and then he takes us out in one Hyper Beam. We go Cadabra next. He misses Supersonic while we put up Reflect. We get confused, but do almost half of its health in Psychic. Hyper Beam leaves us with a Sliver as we hit Psybeam. He finally has to recharge and we hit a Psybeam and take him out. Dragonite's out last, and we switch for Blastoise. He hits us with Slam as we deal major damage with Ice Beam, and we freeze him! He's frozen next turn, and we get our 1 in 256 glitch to miss. Another turn of being frozen, and we end him with the next Ice Beam, winning the fight. It took nearly a perfect fight, but we got to our rival much better than I could have imagined. Pidgeot is first, and we start with Raichu. I was button mashing, so I dumbly used Swift while he hits Wing Attack. We use Thunderbolt, nearly taking him out. He hits a Mirror move to barely hurt us, and another Thunderbolt takes him out. Alakazam is next, and here we go. I start with Cadabra and put up Reflect. He hits Psybeam, then Psychic crits, taking out Cadabra. I go for Moltres next. He hits Psychic for half of our health, and we hit Fire Blast for half of his, and cause Burn. Just the break I needed. His next Psychic still takes us out. Graveler is next, but one critical hit from Psybeam takes him out. Next, we send out Raichu. He recovers as we hit a weak Thunderbolt. Raichu gets hit hard by Psychic, leaving us with 1 health. We hit with Swift. The next turn, Alakazam dumbly uses Reflect, then the burn damage and Swift takes him out. The outlook still doesn't look very good. Rhydon is next, we go for Blastoise and take him out in one Surf. He switches for Water Onix, so we go for our 1 health Raichu. Thunderbolt leaves him with 1 heartbreaking health point. Then he goes for Hydro Pump and misses! What another lucky break, as our Swift takes him out. Next is Arcanine, we send out Nidoking. He hits hard with Takedown, and we get off a critical Earthquake, leaving him with a sliver of health. He then dumbly goes for Leer as we take him out with Surf. Last is Venusaur. He misses us with Razor Leaf as we deal a critical Earthquake for less than half of his health. Mega Drain does half of our remaining health and damage as we hit another Earthquake. He starts charging Solar Beam, we hit another Earthquake, and he attacks first, taking us out. I go for Raichu first for Paralysis to confirm that Blastoise can attack first. He's fully paralyzed, so we go for a Swift, leaving him with a sliver of health. Mega Drain takes us out. Blastoise is last, and one Ice Beam gets us into the Hall of Fame. I definitely thought I was going to have to grind more and get to a high level before actually succeeding. However, our adventure actually isn't over. We want to go after all the legendaries, as the game intends you to. So, we have to go after the other 3 legendaries before this journey is over. I decided to grind a little bit before going after Mewtwo, as everything in the Cerulean Cave is higher leveled and gives off crazy experience. The first attempt against Mewtwo goes pretty horribly. Even with Paralysis and Reflect Up, he feints all of our Pokemon. We don't even hit any Ultra Balls when we actually get him low enough. Our second attempt, he eliminates Raichu before we can get him paralyzed, so I reset. Our third attempt, we build up 6 flashes to greatly lower his accuracy, but we don't paralyze him before Raichu goes down. Moltres does end up burning him, and we get some healthy attempts with Ultra Balls, ultimately failing. Finally, on Blastoise, we hit the Ultra Ball and catch him. That actually wasn't as bad as it could have been. 3 attempts at a level 70? I'll take it, and let's try the last 2. Zapdos is next. We hit 2 Thunderbolts and get him pretty low, Thunder Wave to paralyze. I try for a Swift just to see if we can get him a little bit lower. We get an unfortunate crit, but very luckily get him into 1 health. Time to throw Ultra Balls until we hit. We miss the first few, Zapdos gets us to 1 health, and on our 7th Ultra Ball, we hit him and catch him. 3 down, 1 to go. Articuno is last, so we paralyze him first, hit hard with Thunderbolt and Swift to leave him with a little bit of health. Our first Ultra Ball hits, and we caught the last legendary. So we did it. That is our first Pokemon run and the end of Pokemon Blue. Before I began, I truly believed that I could catch the birds, but I wasn't expecting to have to do it in this manner. I thought Thunder Wave was sufficient at first, and then I thought I was going to need Hypnosis and a higher level Haunter, and I'm glad that I didn't need that. Then each legendary was caught with the only Ultra Ball that hit. I guess I don't know if that's a Generation 1 thing. I didn't know if that was true, because I know in later generations that if the Ultra Ball hits, they can still break out of it. I don't know. If you guys know, comment below. I definitely didn't believe I would catch Mewtwo without leveling up, or with only Ultra Balls so quickly. I thought I was going to have to use my Master Ball against him. But I'll take the victory from Pokemon Blue and move on to Generation 2. If you have some ideas for challenges you wish for me to try to complete, comment below with your thoughts. I have a few ideas for challenges. One that I know is going to drive me absolutely insane, but it's all for the viewers. Until next time.